at the end of the day, it's, who can I put my faith in? Who can I trust? And are they meeting their metrics? And I think that's the biggest piece, right? We go back to, I go back to the baseball analogy, but you look at Moneyball, right?
Yeah, that was a great film.
The one metric, what was the one metric, right? You can't score if you're not on base.
Right, getting on base.
We want people who can actually get on base. I don't care how they do it, just get on base, right? And for us, it's metrics. If you're not meeting your metrics, and they're simple metrics, I always, if I can back up for a minute, one of the things I always tell everyone here is, you are your own business leader, right? Treat me as your private equity. Your desk is a business. And if you're, think about your salary, think about your commissions, because we pay everybody a nice base salary. Everybody here is a W-2, so it's a big nut every month. But because I want to pay people, I want to be competitive with my clients. I want to beat my clients out for top talent, right? So we pay competitive salary, and then our bonus program is strong enough that where if people who are performing, they're still making 50+% of whatever they're doing. It just takes a little while to get there, which in my mind is competitive in the recruiting industry. But it also signifies the concept of, if you're making 50% of what you produce, what's the other 50% paying for at your desk, right? And are you generating a profit or a loss? And so, and here are the metrics by which you achieve that, right? So you have to have at least 5 conversations a day with the candidate or customer base. You have to have at least 1 marketing presentation a day, 1 conversation with somebody about their hiring practices, what they're doing, how they're doing it, so forth. And out of those 5 candidate conversations, you should have at least 1 person interested in some opportunity, right? And my biggest frustration with recruiters is they call individuals and say, "Hey, I got this amazing job for you. I got this fantastic job, and you should consider this job." And who are we to tell them that, right? We're interrupting their day, whether it's middle of the day, maybe it's they're driving on their way to a date at night, whatever it is, right? We're interrupting them, and we're telling them about this amazing job, and we have no idea who this person is. Why would you do that? I mean, would you take that call? Hey, I've got this a great job, right? And you're like, okay, well, what is it? Well, it's underwater basket weaving in the middle of the Sahara Desert. How is that a great job? What are you talking about, right? But you call someone you call someone in the Sahara, and they may think it's amazing. But my point in all that is that we're interrupting people's days, and for a good reason. But we can't tell them that we know them and that we understand who they are and what makes them up and what wakes them up every morning and gets them energized about going to bed before the next day, until we get to know them. And so that, when I say it's one submission, it's one individual interested in working with you. So they've got to be able, out of those 5 conversations, you got to be good enough on the phone to be able to have that conversation, to have enough empathy, to have enough intuition, to really make strong communication skills, to make a connection enough to say, yeah, you know what? I'd be willing, if there was the right opportunity, I'd be willing to work with you. What are you currently representing? What kind of jobs do you represent in the future? What kind of things, can you call me back about? Right? If you're doing the I call them 511s. If you're doing the 511s, and honestly, that's a mediocre successful recruiter. That's someone who's billing probably $200K a year. Someone who's billing $500K a year is doing 721s, right? They're doing 7 conversations a day. They're making 2 marketing conversations a day, and they're getting, again, out of those 7, they're still getting at least 1 person interested in working with them.